So one thing you might say is white headphones, they don't look particularly covert, and who wears headphones these days? It's usually AirPods and the like. However, when we are delivering training, we tend to like to use wired devices. So you can get devices which are Bluetooth or through an induction loop to an earpiece, which is wireless. However, that does cause issues and something could go wrong with that. If it's wired, the only thing that can go wrong is this isn't plugged in. So we tend to use these on the course. Operationally, I would prefer to use a wireless earpiece, simply because if you have a number of people on a team with all the same coloured earpieces or just one earpiece in, you could start picking out a surveillance team. So we use the hardwired ones just for the course. And you do find with learners who haven't used radios before that the first thing they want to blame for not being able to hear something or to transmit is the radio. But I would say 99.9% of the time it isn't the radio, it is actually the user. And radio security. So once you have these radios, it doesn't matter if you've got a UHF or VHF encrypted. If you lose this handheld, someone can turn it on. This one hasn't got a key code on it, and therefore your communications can be listened to. And it is exactly the same for the network radio. If someone has this, they are then able to hear all of your comms. So radio security is a must. Okay, one thing I want to discuss is radio checks. So before we leave the office or before we leave our briefing location, we need to make sure our communications work. There's nothing worse than putting all your rig on, hiding all your wires, and then you're out on the ground, you turn your radio on to go out on foot, and all of a sudden you've got no comms. You can't hear transmissions, or you might be able to hear them, but you can't transmit back. So what we do is a radio check, and we do it before we deploy on the actual operation. So it's really simple. So we've got to imagine there's two people here, so we've got two radios, and I would just simply say, Simon, radio check anybody. Try again. Simon, radio check anybody.
Simon, radio check anybody.
And then the person on the other side of this would say, yes, yes, you're loud and clear, Simon.
You're loud and clear, Simon.
So I now know that my communications are being heard by the other operator, but I need to now tell the other operator that their communications are being heard by me and received. So I would simply say, yes, yes, you're also loud and clear.
Yes, yes, you're also loud and clear.
So you can hear there's a little bit of a delay there. And the reason for that delay is because we're on a network, and it has to go to a mast, to a satellite and back. There's a little bit of delay, and the reason for that delay here is because the phone signal is particularly low. So that check then, as I've just said, I can be heard by the other operative, and the other operative can be heard by me, and they know that because I've then acknowledged them. There's nothing worse than just doing SI radio check.
SI radio check. SI.
And that operative just nodding to me, yeah, yeah, loud and clear. Well, I want to know that I can hear them as well. So we have to have that. Yes, yes, you're loud and clear to me, Simon.
Yes, yes, you're loud and clear to me, Simon.
And we need to have back, yes, yes, likewise.
Yes, yes, likewise. Yes.
So that is a radio check. If you then turn your comms off and then operationally go out and they don't work, then at least you can say they worked when I left the office or the location of the briefing, sorry. So that is radios. So we've covered radios. What happens if radios go down? If radios go down, we have to use other means. So there might be that operatives don't own radios, so they may turn their mobile phone into a radio. And there are certain apps out there which allow you to do that, such as Zello. So if you download Zello onto your phone, you can set up a group with other people who have got Zello. That group is only seen or heard by those individuals. So it's secure. Downside, if you're busy like me and your phone rings all the time, you really need another SIM card because your telephone takes priority over Zello. So if someone rings me up then I can't listen to the comms. However, like on the network radios with Zello, it records everything. So everything that's been said on this today can be played back.
Yes, likewise. Yes, you're loud and clear to me, Simon. Sorry, radio check. Sorry.
So if you do miss anything, you can go back. Back in the day, maybe pagers may have been used. They've gone. Mobile phones. You can use a mobile phone, not just the app Zello, but you could go to phones to use comms. However, bit of a trigger, unless you've got AirPods in, if everyone on the team is holding a phone up, then that could be a trigger. It might be that we've got various apps like Signal, WhatsApp, Telegram, and we're able to use them because we're unable to speak. So it might be we're on a train and we haven't got any networks that signal. We might be able to send a message. So we can have a WhatsApp group, which is purely dedicated to the operatives on the group, or a Signal one, which is more secure. And if we're in a position where we aren't able to talk because other people, third party, would hear us, then we can go to a WhatsApp group or a Signal and just type in no change. And then there's hand signals. So there are various hand signals, which I'm not going to go into, but there are various hand signals if everything else fails. But they are crude. I'll give you one. I bought to you. Now, from a third party, if someone saw you doing that across a shopping mall or a shopping centre and sees that, they might get interested what you're doing. Certainly covert security or overt security, if they saw it, would. So we have to be very careful. It is an absolute last resort in regards to hand signals. So that is another episode of Titan PI TV. I hope you've enjoyed it. Like I said earlier, please give us a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. If you don't want to miss further episodes, then please subscribe. It's free. If you prefer to listen to our episodes through podcasts, then we are available on Titan PI TV podcast, wherever you download your podcasts. Till next time, and thank you for listening.